Bless you all this afternoon. Thank you, viewers, for yesterday. Those who share and like our video, may the Lord reward you all bountifully in the mighty name of Jesus. Amen. Today we are going fully to what we discussed yesterday, which was our subject of discussion. But today I'm submitting fully the difference between honorable, excellence, or a horrific leaders and members of the house. Yesterday, what guided us was the Holy Book, the Bible, and I'm bringing in today, as we're about to hear, a guide of who is a honorable and excellent leader and who is horrible and horrific. So I want to use the Holy Book as a context to check both ways and see for ourselves. 2 Chronicles 34 verse 1 to 8. As we want to hear what the Holy Book says, as we want to hear what the Holy Book says about a leader who is honorable. We have many Bible texts or verse to do this, but let me just pick this one, because this one is an outstanding, a young and a vibrant youth. 2 Chronicles 34 verse 1 to 8. Let us hear the reading, please.
Josiah was 8 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned in Jerusalem 31 years. And he did that which was right in the sight of the Lord, and walked in the ways of David his father, and declined neither to the right hand nor to the left. For in the 8th year of his reign, while he was yet young, he began to seek after the God of David his father.
He began to seek after the Lord David his father.
And in the 12th year, he began to purge Judah and Jerusalem from the high places, and the groves, and the carved images, and the molten images.
He began to do wonders. He was 8 years old. Go on.
And they break down the altars of Baalim in his presence, and the images that were on high above them, he cut down, and the groves and the carved images, and the molten images, he brake in pieces, and made dust of them, and strewed it upon the graves of them that had sacrificed unto them. And he burnt the bones of the priests upon their altars, and cleansed Judah and Jerusalem. And so did he in the cities of Manasseh and Ephraim and Simeon, even unto Naphtali, with their mattocks round about. And when he had broken down the altars and the groves, and had beaten the graven images into powder, and cut down all the idols throughout all the land of Israel, he returned to Jerusalem. Now in the 18th year of his reign, when he had purged the land and the house, he sent Shaphan the son of Azaliah, and Maaseiah the governor of the city, and Jonah the son of Joahaz the recorder, to repair the house of the Lord his God. And when they came to Hilkiah the high priest, they delivered the money that was brought into the house of God, which the Levites that kept the doors had gathered at the hand of Manasseh and Ephraim, and of all the remnant of Israel, and of all Judah and Benjamin, and they returned to Jerusalem. And they put it in the hand of the workmen that had the oversight of the house of the Lord. And they gave it to the workmen that wrought in the house of the Lord, to repair and amend the house. Even to the artificers and builders gave they it, to buy hewn stone and timber for couplings, and to floor the houses which the kings of Judah had destroyed. And the men did work faithfully, and the overseers of them were Jehath and Obadiah, the Levites, and the sons of Merari, and Zechariah and Meshullam of the sons of the Kohathites, to set it forward, and other of the Levites, all that could skill of instruments of music. Also they were over the bearers of burdens, and were overseers of all that wrought the work in any manner of service, and of the Levites that were Sorabites, and officers and porters. When they brought out the money that was brought into the house of the Lord, Hilkiah the priest found a book of the law of the Lord given by Moses. And Hilkiah answered and said to Shaphan the scribe, I have found a book of the law in the house of the Lord. And Hilkiah delivered the book to Shaphan. And Shaphan carried the book to the king, and brought the king word back again, saying, all that was committed to thy servants, they do it. And they have gathered together the money that was found in the house of the Lord, and have delivered it into the hand of the overseers, and to the hand of the workmen. Then Shaphan the scribe told the king, saying, Hilkiah the priest hath given me a book. And Shaphan read it before the king. And it came to pass, when the king had heard the words of the law, that he rent his clothes. And the king commanded Hilkiah and Ahikam the son of Shaphan, and Abdon the son of Micah, and Shaphan the scribe, and Isaiah a servant of the king's, saying, go inquire of the Lord for me, and for them that are left in the Israel and in Judah, concerning the word of the book that is found. For great is the wrath of the Lord that is poured out upon us, because our fathers have not kept the word of the Lord, to do after all that is written in this book. And Hilkiah and they that the king had appointed went to Huldah the prophetess, the wife of Shalom the king, the son of Tikvath, the son of Hazra, keeper of the wardrobe. Now she dwelt in Jerusalem in the college, and they spake to her to that effect. And she answered them.
Praise the living God. Which verse are you now?
Verse 23.
No, I said 34, verse 1 to 8.
Okay.
Okay, where I am particularly interested in, I want to point it out now. Now, in verse 8.
Now, in the 18th year of his reign,
yes,
when he had purged the land,
he purged the land
and the house,
yes,
he sent Shaphan the son of Azaliah.
That is, thank you, man of God. That's the point I want to make there. You know, it was 8 years when he came into power. Is that also? But in 10 years, he purged the whole land of all atrocity, all evil. The land was now refined, given back to God. So, such leader, what will you call him? That's a leader you call honorable or your excellency, because he was able to clear the land of all evil. Now, let's quickly look at this little one too, because we are not reading that again because of time. In 2 Kings 21 verse 12, then read 24 verse 3 please. 2 Kings verse 24 verse 3. What happened in verse 1, 21 verse 1 to 12 affected 24 verse 3. That is Manasseh. So we are seeing Josiah as a key point to an excellent leader, honorable leader. Now let us look at who a honorable leader is.
2 Kings 24 verse 1.
Verse 3.
Verse 3. Surely at the commandment of the Lord came this upon Judah, to remove them out of his sight.
Okay.
For the sins of Manasseh, according to all that he did.
Are you seeing now? Because of one man's sin. If you read chapter 21, verse 1 to 12, I don't know if time will permit us. Are you seeing that? You will see the atrocity. He removed every landmark the elders, their father set. He removed it. He destroyed the foundation, as we are having today in Africa. You know, in Africa, leaders have set foundation. Fathers have set foundations. Mothers have set foundation for we to follow. But today, he said many have removed the landmark set by the father. The purpose why they are removing landmark, destroy the foundation, like a Honourable foundation, Inaro foundation, Tafawa Balewa foundation, Thomas Sankara foundation, Patrice Lumumba foundation have been destroyed today because of our greedy leaders. You can see that in Job 24 verse 1 to 5. The purpose and the reason why horrible leaders remove foundations. To oppress, to suppress others, to steal for their personal gain. So as we are going, we will see an example of these two leaders. Let us begin to look at first what is honorable leaders. Why should they address someone as honorable or excellent leader? A honorable leader or members is someone who is entitled to be honored. Who wants the honor? One who adhere to ethical and moral values and principles, integrity, one with strong signs of fairness, honesty, and truth. One who by the truth never sell it, as Solomon said in Proverbs 23 verse 23. One who consistently uphold principle of truth, honor, excellent integrity. One who do nothing against the truth but by the truth. Or make it to Corinthians clear, very clear to them. 2 Corinthians 3:13 verse 5. So such leaders, let me begin to make example of our generation. There is someone like Nelson Mandela, Mahatma Gandhi, Abraham Lincoln. In spite of all their challenges, they stood firm by their principles, truth, integrity. As Job make it clear in Job 1:20-22, Job 27 verse 5. Even when Job's wife said, "Why are you retaining your integrity?" Job saw the wife that, yes, this is a foolish woman, you understand nothing. These are fathers. They are heroes. They left integrity. You see, a whole leader are those. They are open to compassion. They speak to truth. They accept responsibility. They are very transparent, committed to growth and accountability. Excellency, when they say your excellency, is a title honored, a title of honor and respect to address a high-ranking official, like the government officials, the governor, the president, the ministers, and others. They will say your excellency. You know, their performance before you be called an excellency or excellent. Because when you say excellency, you are calling that leader an excellent person. Before you become an excellent leader, their performance, one, are extremely good. Outstanding features. You know, let me start again. Outstanding 1, verse 8 to 20. In all things Daniel was choosing. He was standing, having an outstanding feature in all matters, in wisdom, in knowledge, understanding. Daniel was better than everyone 10 times. In Daniel 6, verse 3, Daniel was also having this outstanding feature among all the presidents he was choosing, because he have an excellent spirit. You see, if you don't have an excellent spirit, doubtless you can never be an excellent leader. The person will be a horrible leader or a reprobate silver, a thief or a looter. In Proverbs 31 verse 29, many have done it before, but excellent leader, they excel them all. You know, many have been president before, many have been governor before, many have been this before, but an excellent leader, when they come, their outstanding feature, they are excellent will speak. You know, I said it yesterday, position does not make a man good. Being a governor does not say you are good. It only exposes your idea, the character, and the kind of human that person is. You know, when someone have an excellent spirit, he is virtuous. You know, Solomon asked one question. He said, how can we find a virtuous woman or man among our African leaders today? This is the question. We have had so many excellent mothers, no doubt about that. Let me give an instance about the lioness of Lasiba, the mother of Nigeria, who fought for the suffrage and equal rights. That is a mother like Fumilayo Ransome Kuti. We have mother like Wangari Maathai of Kenya, Winnie Mandela Mandela. She was a symbol of resistance, who keep her message alive. He stood her ground. We have women like Queen Amina of Zaria, the first woman to become a Surin Naya queen in the male dominant. He excelled above these women. We can't talk about honorable men, excellent men and women, without talking about them. They have made history. Margaret Ekpo, rights woman activist, who had to establish Nigeria independence. a freedom fighter and a nationalist. Herbert Macaulay, the founder of Nigeria, a nationalist and a political journalist. Even at that man's death, the nation matter, the people in Nigeria matter was still at his heart. These are heroes of Nigeria. Sir Benjamin Nnamdi Azikiwe. These are fathers of this nation. Another father is Anthony Enahoro Eremosele, the first man to move the motion when others was afraid of their life. Like as it is today, nobody wants to speak to power. They were afraid of their life, their properties, their family. But this man put his life in jeopardy and moved the motion. That is the independence we are enjoying today. Chief Obafemi Awolowo, a father of this nation, who was charged for sedition, jailed for 10 years. But after he was pardoned, he suffered for this nation. He laid a foundation. Others are African righteous fathers, like Jimo Kenyatta of Kenya, Kwame Nkrumah, Gold Coast of Ghana, Julius Nyerere of Tanzania, Leopold Sedar Senghor of Senegal, Patrice Lumumba of DC Congo. Others I can't mention now because of time. These are fathers that are qualified to be called honorable heroes, excellency, when they were alive. 1 Samuel 9 verse 6. 1 Samuel and 2 Kings 5 verse 1. 1 Chronicle 4 9 to 10. Jabez. But in 1 Chronicle 11 16 to 25 and Judges 5 verse 14 to 18, these are examples of this father among us of Nigeria. As those fathers fought in the Bible days, stood for their nation, this is how these Africans, fathers and mothers, fought for this nation. They set ethical standards, moral values, an outstanding landmark, but today the landmark have been destroyed. The landmark have been bastardized. Looters and horrible leaders, they have messed it all up. This is what this father, even many I could not mention, a land bank they put their life to set. This is not the Africa they left to us. That is not the kind of Ghana they left for Ghana. This is not the Nigeria I would have left. Jimo Koyanta does not leader for Kenya, rather Ghana. This is not the Africa they wanted to see, which we are seeing today. They put their life in jeopardy for this generation. They do it so that we that are coming benefit from their struggle. But are we benefiting today? Are we free today? Are we even safe from the imperialists? They break through the walls of the imperialists, put all their armies to flight to see the beauty of our generation. But the horrible leaders mess it all up. These African fathers among us, in their moral principles, values and integrity, they will still be unalive by the imperialists, because they know the landmark we were setting when the children grow up to meet it, it will be a disaster. They are our hero and they remain our hero. Their labor must not put in the gutter by any man. Their labor must not be in vain. What they suffer for, they fought for. They never got this thing in the platter of gold. That is what Captain Ibrahim Traore is standing for today. That the life and the work of Thomas Sankara should not be in vain. Who is the one to stand for our work? Who is that man that will stand for Honourable? Who is that man to stand in the gap for Tafawa Balewa? Who is that man to stand for Sir Dr. Benjamin Unade Azikiwe? Who is that man? Who is that man? Their performance is he speaking today. People we are supposed to be addressing today as horrible members, we are now addressing them as Your Excellency. Who is to be blamed? Who is to be blamed? Today in Africa, we have almost 55 nations in this continent. We have no shortage of these marauders. They occupy all sectors in all nations. This greedy, disgusting men that is supposed to be called, addressed as horrible, neither horrific, but today when they stand you call them honorable. We have no shortage of them. I am submitting to them all, in all sectors, politically, in judicial, in the media, in the religious sectors, and our law enforcement agents. They are as a saboteur. Jeremiah make it clear. Jeremiah 50 verse 11. He says, destroyer of God's heritage. They are destroyer of God's heritage. God gave us the best natural resources, but it's been destroyed by these greedy and horrible leaders. History will remember them, many of them, for their atrocity, criminalities, looting, embezzlement, and their insubordinates. Biblically, let me advise them now. Let me give them some advice. Ecclesiastes 4 verse 13. The holy book said, "It's better a child that is being oppressed than an old foolish leader who know nothing but is no more admonished. He is being mocked and ridiculed." Ecclesiastes 9 verse 17. The word of the wise that will save nations and Africa from the marauders is not regarded, but the word of the looters, the marauders, the horrible, horrific leaders are being heard everywhere. This is where we are today. Let us look at who is a horrific or a horrible leaders or members. We have used 2 Kings 21 and 24 as a practical example, as a guide, Manasseh as an example of a horrible leaders. And it may address in Job 12 verse 6. You know, Job cried. He said, why do these horrible leaders, their tabernacle prosper? Why do they succeed in all they are doing? Mark 10 verse 42 to 45. First, horrific leaders. Jesus make it clear that they exercise lordship, they exercise authority, they exercise power, they are power drunk, they are intoxicated. But a honorable leader, an excellent leader, is a servant. Horrible leaders are those. Psalmist talk about it in Psalm 49. Verses 6 to 13. He said they trust in their riches. They want their name to be named after streets, villages, schools, removing the names of the fathers who fought for the foundation of the nation. They want their name to be known. That's what Samuel is talking about there, Psalm 49. Let them go and read it. It's the Holy Book talking to them, not me. 6 to 13. Their posterity approve their saying. You know, after election, these horrible leaders, when they have deluded us, deceived us, to get through to their position, through tribal bigotry or settlements, flattering, false manifestos, they cannot even implement in their dream. Last, bold the pastors, bold the afar, bold the professor, they use, bold the usurpers. Last, everybody they chop the breakfast. Everybody is enjoying in Africa. Let them use it to ring election. You go chop the breakfast. You know, today the message for our professor, they are being used in collective center. You know, in those days, when you see professor, they have white hairs. You say, you imagine you want to be a professor. Today, professors are being used in collective center for election. How do we get here? Who is to be blamed? And how do we get here? It's two questions. Who actually are this class of these horrible and horrific leaders or excellency? These are leaders that are grossly offensive to one, decency. They don't want decency. Reality is their enemy. Truth, their biggest enemy. Accountability, their brother's enemy. Morality is another enemy. Integrity is their enemy. And compassion, they hate compassion too. These are their class. They are very offensive to this area. They are terror. They are tyrants. They are subjected to outrageous cruelty, to hideous, devilish pattern of injustice. They are carrier of vengeance. They never forgive. They don't forgive you. They are taskmasters. They operate the system called kleptocracy. You see, these leaders, horrible leaders, and all their officials, they have no limit in embezzlement, in looting, siphoning national treasury or state treasury into their private use, family use or wealth. They buy house abroad, property auction. They acquire property abroad. They are enemies of free and fair election. They have PhD and master degree and professor in rigging election. They lack accountability, transparency, and moral principles. Politically, they are repressions. Their dissent is often silent. Their dissent is often silent. They threaten you to maintain so that they can maintain control over you. All institutions we have today in Africa as touch me not. They call that thing touch me not, Memusa Kudika. You know, when you touch it, you go down. That's how their descent is like. You know, their second target is judiciary. They want to make judiciary like Mimosa. Is it Minosa or Mimosa Piduka? Trust me not. You know, when you touch it, you go down. Wow. That their last target is judiciary. When they catch up the judiciary, is finished. But Deuteronomy verse 19 spoke about it very well. About the judiciary they use. You know, those people take gifts to pervert judgments. Proverbs 29 verse 4. Proverbs 21 verse 14. They now rejoice in doing injustice. They rejoice in doing perverseness. They rejoice in doing all this. But Ecclesiastes chapter 9, verse 4, verse 3. Isaiah 5, verse 20 to 23. They now justify the wicked for reward. That's how they do the judiciary. They make judiciary to justify wicked for reward, so that they can take the righteousness of righteous from him. They rejoice in doing injustice. They celebrate it, as we are seeing all over in Africa today. Micah 3 verse 2 and 7 verse 3. They do injustice with their two hands for reward. But what the Holy Bible say? What does the Holy Quran say? And we are not deaf to it. The Quran is still very active. The Holy Bible is still very active. God is still in control. Allah is still in control. Let the Muslim hear this. Let the Christian hear this. God is in control. Allah is in control. Deuteronomy 16 verse 17, verse 19. Deuteronomy 24 verse 17. The Holy Bible say any judiciary who perverts judgments, his core, his family, his generation, is already caused. You must take the money now. Deuteronomy 27 verse 19. You can take the money now, but time will come, you will pay. It is written. Deuteronomy 27 verse 19 in the Holy Bible. And the Quran still have its own. Cause is upon any magistrate. Let them trend require in Africa. Let them trend require in Nigeria, in all nations in Africa. Let judicial panic. Let us stand up this hour, because it is written. 2027 is coming. God is watching the judiciary. God is watching magistrates. God is watching the attorney general. God is watching chief justice. God is watching all the judges, the minister of justice, whoever pervert judgment. It is written, Deuteronomy 27 verse 19. God's judgment and wrath will be upon that generation. Let me let them know. Galatians 6:7. God is never mocked. Ecclesiastes 12 verse 8. Solomon said, let them hear this. He said, marvel not of those that violate or pervert judgments for the evil. Do justice for the wicked in the state, in the nation. Solomon said, don't mind them, but God knows it. Their name is already in the books of life. Their name is already recorded with God. Micah 3 verse 11. Church is not exempted. Religion is not exempted. All will face the judgment of God. Peter make it clear to the Christians, and I know the Muslims will still have their own. First Peter verse 4. First Peter chapter 4. Let us turn the care. The wrath and anger of God will locate every one of them in this injustice we are facing everywhere. Lawlessness. They exercise power over the poor. Let me shock you again, how these horrible leaders, that these saints, they use the law enforcement agency and the media to manipulate, to serve the ruling elite. 2 Kings 18 verse 19. 2 Kings 18, 1. 2 Kings 19, but in 2 Chronicle 32 verse 1 to 23, God ended the area of law enforcement, intimidation, and media manipulation through Hezekiah. The law enforcement agency and the minion, the military, paramilitary, police are all their remote control. This horrible leader, they use them as remote control. That's what the Bible is saying. They control them. When you say anywhere belle fish, they are ready to die for them. But these are the people who put you as a law enforcement agent, who put you, your family, your children, even your people in the village in an abject poverty. You know, they operate a nation in absolute monarchy. And they are political oligarchy. They see the nation resources, which is the national resources. You know, those days, Man of God, they say Aninisi Agbo Bank and Agudi Bank as his pocket money. That's the way these political leaders say it. You know, if we are celebrating this Luther, that's it. I keep on wondering, why do they care in those days? Because he see Agbo Bank like his pocket money and Agudi Bank. So the political leaders today, they see the national treasury as their pocket money. So when they need anything, they write budget, they pad it, they do this and do that. No African nation is exempted. We don't have shortage of that. You know, I said it yesterday. You know, I thank the EFCC chairman because the money where they see people they carry, himself with fear. If I'm the chairman, I would tell the president, I would do again. Because me, I will ask as a pastor, he is a pastor. These people, they get hard, They don't have children, they don't have siblings, they don't have village. Some of them have been forgotten in their village. They have abandoned them. May God help us. So let me give an example of this horrible. Leaders, they are terrible and horrific, and how they die. We have one, Mobutu Sese Seko of Zaire, now DCRO Congo, now DCRO, who stole billions of his national treasury, put the nation in an extreme poverty. One person like Manasseh, he put a nation in an extreme poverty. Both the media who supported him, both the law enforcement agent who supported him, both the military who supported him, everyone supporting that time, all chop the breakfast now in Zaire. We have another one, Ferdinand Marcos of Philippines, who embezzled estimated $10 billion, which those media, military, and law enforcement agents, their generation in Philippines is still suffering today, and that made Philippines the most violent state in the whole world. One man put them to that mess, put the whole nation's life in jeopardy. One of our own here, Sani Abacha, we hear every day, they return Abacha money. Is that also? They return Abacha money. We are not seeing the money. Who stole? Allegedly, as I said, and stashed them in foreign bank. Yes, we are still recovering from it now. Who eliminated one of the key forerunners of the Niger Delta in his regime? The man was eliminated. Ken Saro-Wiwa, may his gentle rest, so rest in peace. According to history, he served Nigeria beyond 50 years. Yet, we are reaping it today. But, you see, he said one thing. He said, when it lasts more than 1 day or 2 days, I've forgotten how he said it. He said, you will know that the government is involved. He wanted to set record straight in many places. All this money that was looted, as they said allegedly, many they said he was not the one. Who is to blame and who are the one? May God help us. We have General Ibrahim Badamusi Babangida. You know, he openly confessed to Nigeria today on his book. He wrote it personally Because of greed, June 12 was not down. That have set this nation. The standard and the structure of our democracy today, what we are having today is what set that standard. The breaking of June 12. The manipulation of June 12. That is what we are suffering today. The leaders need to go back there. We have not gotten right. That is the standard that is tormenting Nigeria today. He built mansions. Gigantic one. I think allegedly they said it's about 1,000 this year at that time. Gold house in Mina. But today, he can only sleep in one room, even before. We have Viktor Yanukovych of Ukraine, who amassed a deadly weight, riches through corruption before being ousted out, that set the path of the tumor. The crisis Ukraine is facing today. We have Theodora Obiang, is in Nigeria, of Equatorial Guinea, who uses state and the national resources for his friends and his family for luxury. Are you seeing it now? Engineer, somebody will be using national money for luxury for his friends, and the poor will be dying. You see, our heroes left a good nation for the bad people. That's where we are today. If we are having constant and outstanding heroes like Awolowo, Tafawa, Azikiwe, Inaoro, constantly, I think we will not have this crisis. In all Africa, we have key heroes. But this one was just using his national discipline to entice and to satisfy his friends. May God help us. Many others cannot mention these horrible leaders. Today we have them presently all over Africa, politically and religiously. We have them all over. We have no shortage of them. And their officials, they are in all sectors, as I said before, who engage in bribery, unlimited corruption, embezzlement. They make sure all institutions are destroyed and captured. All institutions in the nation, they will make sure all sector is being captured and destroyed because of their dishonest gain, their greedy gain. They make life of their people, even their followers, miserable and horrible. You know, we have religious leaders. We have PFM. You know, when you ask some of them, they begin to blame the devil. The politician will even blame the devil himself. Today, African leaders, even the religious leaders, man of God, they have become like Adam and Eve. You know, they were blaming God. God said, Adam, where are thou? He said, I'm here. He said, that the woman will you give me. God had Eve. He blamed the serpent that was in the garden. So that's how we are today. Blame again. Blame again. Even the church, they blame the devil. Let me tell you one thing. Without the devil, some pastor will not have ministry. That's why you don't have ministry in America like that. You go to Italy, go to Jerusalem. They go there to exercise. You understand me now? This prayer, this thing, worship and praise and relate with God. They don't go to church because of the devil. So that's why we have many ministries in Africa. So we have become like Adam and Eve. Even we are the ones self. Without the devil to blame, nobody will have ministry in Nigeria. I'm telling you. Go to every church now, they are praying against the devil. Wherever the devil is, we are the devil. You know, I keep on telling people, you take the devil to the river or anywhere to a stream for water baptism. Is that not so? It will only go inside as a dry devil and come out as a wet devil. It ain't nothing. Okay, let me tell you now. What is the purpose of doing all night? What is the purpose of prayer? Go and check all the other nations. That's why China have 1%. The most prayerful nation, I think Afghanistan or Pakistan. Nigeria is second. And this nation, they blame devil. So without devil, many men of God, many churches will close. Because they will not have anybody to blame. If you come to me, I will tell you it's the devil. Who is the devil? I'm telling you, we say you're the father house, mother house, your ancestor, this. You understand? Do you know why? Because we have the landmark can be removed. And there is no structure and no standard again. Our foundation have been destroyed. It's very porous. So this will be said because idolatry. Is that also? Your father was an idol person that time. He was a farmer. He sponsored your brother to America to go to school. He doesn't blame devil. He was rich. Those days he buy Vespa. He buy white scarf and buy Beetle. Then you are saying that foundation. Okay, go to Western nations. Western that are being said they have structure. If you want to buy laptop, you want to buy this one and even this mic, you can buy even without paying. You see, people are saying Nigeria, where Africa is very rich, we pay with cash. You should be ashamed of saying that. You don't have structure. There is no standard. We are rich, but your currency, you are saying you are paying cash. Your currency cannot conclude the transaction anywhere. Tell me Africa, a country, the currency can conclude the transaction. That's how horrible we have become in Africa. Without the devil, there will be no church. All the religion, both the Babalawo today, both the Babalawo, both Islam. Without the devil, no church. We are all praying against the devil. Who is the devil? And he's living among us. This is where the politicians tap their grace and begin to blame. You know, politicians normally blame pastor, elder past leader, even some go and blame. You see, sometimes we are still blaming IBB. No, he committed this one, we are still blaming Abacha. You that say, I can do it. I have seen what Abacha, like, engineer, let me ask one thing now. Like this book now is not well printed. You will say, I have seen this book is not well printed, I can print it to me. Just give me a chance, I will do it. Now, they will not give the chance. They will not give you a chance to do what you said you know. When you get there, you will be behaving like Mumu. Behaving like Odesule, Orwe. As someone who has no idea. This is what you said I can do. You vow with your life. So why are you blaming the person? You saw it. It's like an architect now saw a building that is being decayed, dilapidated. You understand? And he will say, okay, sir, give me 20 million, I will fix this house. Look at the picture, the way it come out. Architect will bring it out with that money and will still have gain. Is that also? Because he know the know-how. He have the idea. He have the know-how. So it is a governor presidency. So when you are saying vote, if I want to become a governor, I say vote for me. I will repair the state. My state I will do this. Because I have studied my state, what is happening, and I know the amount is coming and it's not coming. Then when I get there, what stop me from doing what I said? Then somebody will say, Nigeria, they buy cash. Those people, they buy credit. You are suffering yourself. If you want to buy a house there, as long as you are working, you have source of income, they will give you. When they pay you there if you are not working, they will know you are not working. When maybe your work now, you have a break, and there's no work there, the company will go for a break. If it is even 1 year, they are coming back, you can decide not to work, they will be paying you, government will be paying you, because they have structure and standard. Because they can do it. Today we have become like Adam and Eve. As I said, many pastors even in Africa will not have a church without the devil. I'm telling you now. Because the reason of our coming to church every morning, even the politician going to church, is because of the devil. So may God help us. Instead of we taking responsibility, accountability, amending our failures, our incompetence, our arrogancy and haughtiness, nothing else will begin to blame the devil. They begin to blame. Let me shock you one thing. Let me shock you now, man of God, engineer, everybody that is here. Let me shock you. You know we have ESCC. Is that not so? We have military, the CDS. We have the director of DSS. We have the IG of police. Have you seen an IG blaming past IG for security? Have you seen CDS blaming past CDS? Have you seen director of DSS blaming the past one? Have you seen director of ESCC blaming the past one? Do you know why these people don't blame? Number one, they are choosing. Number two, they have structure and a standard, which they know. Three, they have moral principles and this ethical standard, which include honesty, integrity, fairness, respect and accountability, and responsibility, loyalty, compassion and courage, humility, generosity. They will never blame, because before they were choosing, you have been trained on it, how to handle rifle. Every tactical unit that will handle this, you will know there. You see, Nigeria have not asked that question. Why are the armed forces not blaming themselves, but the politicians keep blaming? Even people who don't die, they blame them. Politicians who don't die, they are blaming politicians who don't die. May God help us. Let me shock you again. You see, let me shock you. The reason why some of the leaders blame. You know, when somebody is a pastor, is a 419 or a thief, he will repent partially and come to the church. They will now make him a treasurer. Take the offering box. You know it's empty. Then set the camera. First month, he will say, no, I've repented. Second month, the 419 in him will speak. That stealing in him will speak. That's why when they say you take pig, go America, go back, if he come, he enters Sagamu Road, road. If he see Potopoto, go enter. That is the nature. So some of them pretend to come in. They already have that nature. It's not that some of them want to do something. You see, we must deal with ourselves first. And what is it? You see some people keep on saying, the governor will do this, this one will do this, the president will do this, the governor, the past one will do this one, do this one. Let me tell you, did anybody speak of Yaradua? It's not his work speaking now, even though the man is not alive. Jonathan was condemned. Did anybody speak about Jonathan now? His work is now speaking. Did Jonathan realize their mistakes? That was how the work of a leader speak, even though we are not there. Not you or somebody going to media begin to talk. No, let your work speak as a governor. Let your work speak as a senator. That constituency you are representing, let your work speak. Are you seeing it now? Let your work speak as president. Let everyone's work speak for him. You see, in your profession now as engineer, people know where you are qualified. Do you know why your work is speaking for you? Because they know you are professional in that field. They will say, who do this video? Who do this one? Who do this one? They will say, this engineer. You know why? You are not there. Your work will speak. People will call you. It's someone going to media, doing an advert. In the days of Bishop Bidausa, does he do advert? Someone Sakara no advert. Awolowo no advert. A Rimonsa no advert. When he moved the motion, nobody was there. If a narrow is alive today, this kind of a generation, if this generation, they come from where now will carry, as far as I move the motion, it will be like from Ore to Bini. Because nobody will pass, because the someone that moves the motion of our independence is coming. But those people have integrity. You see, Awolowo said one thing. I don't know how he put it that time. He said the children of the poor, whether you neglect or you don't train, you fail to give it food to. When they are hungry, they will come for you. When they are hungry, they will be at your door. Because they want to eat. So either you give them or we dare together share it. So may God help us in Jesus' name. Now, when this Maruda, who pretended to be religious leaders or political power, when they get to power, the blame game is not here. They will now be in aggressive looting, embezzlement, begin to blame, and they are embezzling. They have pattern. They recycle themselves. It's recycling. Let me tell you. Men that have been ruling from a world of water until now, are they not still calling them? They are supposed to be an elder statesman. They don't know, in Nigeria, they don't know what is an elder statesman. You go and sit in the corner, the youth will now come and meet you. Father, tell us what to do. How do you understand me now? You have been there, guide us. But today, the majority of them is Owoda. That's why the nation is in a mess. That's why sometimes the government, it will be very difficult. Because the person you call the elder statesman is looking for that thing from you. May God help us. Now, they see natural treasury. As I said before, as Anini see those days, Agbo Bank, allegedly, as he said, when they were saying it, and If we need money, we'll just go to Agbo Bank, take and throw it, share for people. You understand me now? So that's how they see national treasury. Two things Solomon said that exalt nations. That exalt nation religiously, politically, and morally. Proverbs 14 verse 34 is a righteousness. Exalt a nation. Sin is a reproach. In Proverbs 29 verse 2, he said, when the wicked are in power, people mourn. People are in pains and in tears. In Proverbs 28 verse 28, he said, but when the wicked is no more in power, when they are gone, people will begin to rejoice. You know, there are leaders, when they leave, but people begin to happy, say, thank God, say this man quick leave. You understand? So, I think many of the sons and daughters, the followers, let them know where their father's name as a ruler will be written. Let me show you another good, honorable, or a leader that is not horrible. The world of Senegal, present president, I think Diomaye Faye. His word, I'm marking with Mark 10 verse 44. He make it clear to the nation, he is a servant. He said, do you know what he said? You know, when you enter office today, whether it's a hotel or anywhere, you see the governor or the secretariat, you see governor, you see the president picture everywhere. Do you know what he told them? He said, replace it with your children picture. Don't put my picture on your wall. Put your own children picture. Do you know why he said it? Oh, that young, you see, we have young men that are vibrant in Africa. Do you know why he said it? He said, when that familiar spirit of corruption or sin come, you now look to your children picture and tell your children and make your decision. If I will put my children generation in a mess or give them a bad name when he's no longer there. He said, when that familiar spirit of stealing come, then you will now see, please, familiar spirits, my children generation, they are coming. I want these children to be better person tomorrow. You see, people, there is no shame in these things. I can't be a father, people will be insulting him because of looting. You understand? In the nation. I don't know why some people are not ashamed of their father. I am telling you, if my father was a politician and is being accused, you see, the reason why white men, their standard is very clean. If a white man want to come out now as a governor or as a president, and there is one thing he's done in the past that would dent the family image, that would dent his integrity, he will just tell them, I have resigned. I think I have one president in America at that time who wanted to contest. I went with Obama. The wife said there is a club they normally go. Because of that, that man resigned. What of this Boris? Is it Boris Johnson of UK? But a political leader in Africa, call them every name, go say na you in the talk. The children will be happy. Then we think we are living a flag that is not staying. We think the labor of our widow will never be in vain. May God help us. May God help us. Let them make a choice. Elijah told them in 2 Kings 18, 20 to 34. And Joshua told them in Joshua 24 verse 15, he said, choose you now where the name of their father will be written, where they are not there. Let them choose where their father's name will be mentioned. As a past governor, past president, past senator. Let them choose. This is my advice to them. Whether they will be among those that destroy the nation with looting or those that repair the nation. You know, thank God for the former president, Jonathan. He said two things, as I said yesterday. He said they will find time to build two buildings in Abuja. One, for those, they will put their picture who destroy the nation with looting and all. The other one, they will put men of honor there. So if your father's name is there, you will go and check. If your father has been a leader or the grandfather, you go and see where it is written. I want to watch children today, when they mention their father's name, they still have respect. Chinua Achebe, Azikiwe, in Nauru, when they mention their father's name in the national state of federal, they have honor. Why? Legacy. You know, thank God for Donald Trump. In America now, he's trying to change the narrative. You know, when he brought this FBI, Patakash, and the Army General Ward, there's one 4-star General Ward, the Chief of Staff, Mark. He said one thing, which I respect him for. He's a 4-star general. Not this Mike Langley that is just fooling himself with Burkina Faso. This one is the Chief of Staff of the US, Mark. He said, the Army, he said the FBI, the Marines, the Airmen, the police, he said their oaths of office is not related or governed by the president, by any religious leader, by any governor or senator or tribe or cabal as it is today. He said, but it is to the Americans and the American ideas. That is why they live, they work and obey that constitution. That is why they are willing to die for and protect any American anywhere in the world. He said, definitely all American sailors, soldiers, airmen, FBI, CIA, he said they are committed to defend the armed forces. Documents, because there is a document. He said, regardless of who you are, of what personal offices, they have a price to pay for the nation. But not to be used in intimidation, harassment of citizens. Not to be used during election time to intimidate people or harass people. That is the word of 4-star General Mark. Then the FBI word, because Donald Trump is trying to change the narrative, as I said. Patakash, he said one thing. He said, this is the word of this FBI man. He said, today in America, he said, we must be accountable. We cannot have an America that is not acceptable to anybody. He said, we don't want to have an America where 100 women are raped, men are killed. He said the FBI, all the armed forces will not allow that. But today, in Africa, opposite is the case. This is how righteousness exalts a nation. Proverbs 14, verse 34, and 29, verse 2. 28, verse 28, and 29, verse 16. Speak volume of African leaders and his continent. The armed forces, the navy, it is not visible anywhere in a civilized world. Anywhere in a civilized world is not visible. Let me tell you, where a senator will have a chains of convoy, governor will go, they travel down, they travel. How will you feed your state? Do you know how many convoys that you see? Obi said one thing that time, but people were against it about this convoy or those things they are doing. It is what they are doing in Africa is not visible anywhere in the advanced world. That is why the imperialists is taking the advantage. Since you don't mean well for your people, then we too will support you. Go ahead. As far as you are safe. You know, there's a preacher that came for our state that time. He looked at the state. He said today they are building high fence. You know, those days, if you go to Ghana, most of the African countries, Ghana, those African countries, like even abroad, their fence is very low. He said they are building high fence. He said, but not to these people. If you don't do the normal thing, a day will come. If who you are building high fence for, we learn how to climb through the high fence. Is that not what we are saying today? That's what the preacher who came from US said. You see, my appeal to our armed forces, let them change the narrative. Let them change the narrative. In a civilized world, hardly you see a soldier outside or escorting somebody. Even the police. So let them change the narrative. You know, when they change this narrative, you will see looters all will enter house. Nobody will steal again. Because they don't have security. The reason why many people are doing this is because of their security. They have security that is guiding them. But when the CDS, the IG, ESCC, the DSS director, they do this. You know, I love the DSS director, Ajayi. Anywhere we have spoken, if you're watching, you know, but it's so unfortunate. You know, there are nations you will come out from. There are times you will rule. There are things in the heart of that man. Our dear CDS that cannot be put in practice. I know it. You see it. So when they do this thing, when they withdraw many, minimize and change narrative, you will see maximum looting. We will now see a maximum, experience a maximum peace, tranquility, accountability in all settles. Let me tell you, give you an example. You know, people will say, this nation has one nation. You understand? You know, Grenada, there's a prime minister there, Thomas Dixon Michel, is the prime minister of Grenada. Do you know what he do? He walked home to the home of every citizen, both the white and the black, to go and know their welfare. Without escort or no police. Do you know why? His standard, his structure have been set. The election is being done free and fair. Let me tell you one thing. If election is being done free and fair in any state in Nigeria, you see the state governor, he walk freely. He move freely. Because the people voted. I said it yesterday. The only continent people don't congratulate themselves after election is Africa. Because the opposition cannot congratulate you because they know what you do. But if they know the people voted and the people who have spoken, it was free and fair, like June 12. It was the only free and fair election we will be having. So you will now see opposition coming, say, brother, thank you. God bless you, you tried. The people have spoken. It has never happened. I don't see it coming soon. Because you are greedy. Now, what of the Vatican City too? What of Costa Rica? If you go to all these places, these people don't have single prison. They will tell you it's a city, not me one be there. No single prison. That's how righteousness exalts a nation. A righteous leader is exalted by God, not man. Genesis 15, verse 6 and 30, verse 3. You see, let me tell you how righteousness exalts a nation. Germany now is in Europe. They have 183 prisoners in the whole nation. Denmark, they are closing 13 prisons because nobody is there. But in Africa, UK, France, and US, where you give the independence, UK prison is full. Africa prison is full. Who is to be blamed? A nation, they are closing prison because nobody to put there. Because there is already a standard and a structure. Go to Krikri prison, you yourself, you go tired. May the good Lord help us as we are going to break now in Jesus' mighty name. First, we are coming back in the next 2-3 minutes. We want to have a break now. God bless you for listening. Please begin to share before we come back. I want to see how you will share now. I want to see how you will share now on this TikTok. You understand?